Mhm.
So, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. And, well, hold on. Yep, breakfast with bulldog. Oh boy. So, good morning. Okay. Ah, oh yeah. Gotta get my omelet filled in the morning.
So what made you name yourself Bulldog?
What made me name myself bulldog?
Yeah. No reason?
Actually, it's kind of weird how I got that name, but I can't say it while I'm live on air because I'd get a lot of fucking haters. Excuse the French. Pardon me, guys, but yeah, I would get some yo-yo on here
Take it on.
that'll kind of stand up for some reason would go against what I would be saying or doing. So
Tell me later.
I just much rather tell you later about it. Right? Mm.
So how did that grandma get all upset?
Mm-mm.
She didn't say shit.
No, but that other guard started pissing me off.
What, another one? Oh, that guy that said he wouldn't vouch for you after he said he would.
No, lady guard.
Oh, that's what I meant. She got all pissy because of that thing.
I don't know what the hell possessed that woman to tell me who she voted for. But she started off the conversation with me last night with I miss Obama. Told her I don't. I don't. I mean, hell, the guy did a lot of damage to this country. I mean, not that. I mean, he's not to blame for every bit of it. I know that. But for what he did do, it just buried it even further.
Right. Universal Nazi health care.
Mm-hmm. He passed something that is very unconstitutional, and I don't know how it stands today. And I voted for Trump under the pretense that he was going to undo the crap that he pulled that was very unconstitutional.
Yeah, he still hasn't done that.
So, I don't know. I just ended up having to walk away from her.
Yeah.
Um,
You got all squatty on you?
Yep. Yep. And I just, and it doesn't surprise me any. I don't think
She's trying to start a battle.
they said that they were going to talk to her about that whole ordeal with that key. Some tells me she never said a word, or they never said a word to her.
And the company itself, too,
Mm-hmm.
let her go. Well, then I guess it doesn't matter. Well, that's stupid, right?
It's starting to make me look stupid.
And just
I'm getting to the point that maybe she's better to be just stay.
check.
I mean, granted, the way shit is going around the world, it's definitely something that you should consider getting away from states like this, because it's only going to end bad. It's only going to end badly.
We'll wait till they get their way in the presidency. Even the other states are going to start sucking like they already did, really. This whole CDC thing proves that. The whole world is sucking.
Now watch what we say though. As far as cussing, I'm trying to keep the channel clean. I'm trying. And I know it frustrates you, and it frustrates me too.
No, I didn't know it was on.
Hell, Trump, he's now trying to talk about making it to where our military is inactive for each state, in the states, deploying actual army troops on American streets now.
Yeah, I believe it. That's what the plan was all along. This whole thing is being manipulated as we go, including those riots. Those were all instigated on purpose.
Well, they got a thing out called the Kamikaze Act, and either it got put in the Constitution or it got put in the Bill of Rights. I can't remember which. It states that American soldiers are not supposed to act on anything on the states, not on American soil, against the people.
Well, they've already breaking about 5 of our civil rights already. So anything goes.
To me, I think this whole damn thing is garbage.
Yeah, it's all made up as they go along. This whole thing is a plan that's being put in place. Every part of it is manipulated.
I just sat there and I watched that video just the other day, where some people were sitting out on their porch and cops opened fired on them with paintballs, sitting on their porch, minding their own business, just watching this shit go by. But no one will ever talk about that. they're talking about on the news. Some car was traveling down the street at a high amount of speed to the point that they opened fire upon the vehicle, and the vehicle turned off and went another direction. If the vehicle was far enough to be able to do that prior to them firing upon them, it's got to make you wonder just how close that vehicle really was. How far away was it really? With everybody recording over all this, why wasn't there a recording of that? Gotta tell you what, it almost makes me glad that I don't pay for a cable bill and getting actual TV anymore.
Oh yeah,
I'm ready to sit there and block all these TV things off of my phone. Because honestly, I don't like going to work or getting up in the morning to nothing but fucking bullshit news.
Yeah, lies.
You know what I'm hearing now?
Yeah.
That bullshit again. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Cops only fuck with black people. They only shoot and kill black people. Crock of shit. You gotta excuse my French again, folks, but it is upsetting. Because if you think for a second that the cops only do this to black folks, well, I got a London Bridge I'd like to sell you. Bricks and all. The only thing is that you gotta go to London to claim it. I'll sell it to you for $1.
Does it come with a spotted tee?
Yeah, it comes with the spotted tee.
A wee bit?
I know I'm gonna get the haters out there going, you racist. Well, newsflash for you. For one thing, I'm not racist. I'm one that believes that all lives matter. That trumps your bullshit racist card. And secondly, if you don't think a black person can't be racist, or a Mexican can't be racist, or a Chinese person can't be racist, you got another thing coming. Racism exists in every form of culture. The only thing that I say about it, and I stand on my grounds up saying it, it's wrong. Racism needs to go away. People need to learn to just get along, love one another, and stand up for one another. No matter who you meet in life, have a positive outlook on them. No matter what race, creed, color, or whatever they are. They could be purple for all I give a shit. I thought it was funny. My daughter sat there and came up to me and told me, hey, I don't know how you feel about black people, Dad, but I got this guy. I'm really interested in him. I really like him. I looked at her and told her, well, do you love him? Well, yeah, I do love him. And he loves you? Yeah, he loves me. Okay, then. Why do you need to seek my approval? I mean, the thing of it is your life is your life, and who you choose to love is who you choose to love. I love my daughter very much, and she's got a mind of her own. You know, folks, I mean, the upsetting thing is the guy got her pregnant and then bounced. The only thing that guy ever did that, in my eyes, is wrong. It was pretty messed up. But you know something? Doesn't make me bitter in any way, shape, or form. So she came across a bad egg. No big deal. Now she's got a guy she loves, cares about, has two other children by this guy. And this guy treats my grandson like as though as if it's his own son. And he don't care. That man's got love in his heart. My daughter has love in her heart. And damn it, I have love in my heart. This bullshit about going around destroying people's businesses. You assholes need to excuse the French again. You need to grow up and get a life. Going around hurting other people's livelihood because you want to create some mass hysteria with the public is BS. You're only going to end up hurting people. So cut it out. Right? Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, and you just handing our freedom over to the rule birds because they can use it as an example of why you need to have more rules. Fuck us all up so we can't go anywhere.
You're only going to complicate matters. You're going to make things worse. You know, now we got a president that thinks he can just order troops upon our streets. After all, we passed that Kamikaze Act bit, but hey, it's no surprise to me if he could do it, because the thing of it is look at what Obama did. He went and shut down Congress to get him to pass, threatened some crap in Congress to get him to pass that doggone medical bill. None of them wanted to sign it. None of them wanted to go through with it. It was a rush. You don't have to read BS. It was Armstronging our Congress into doing something. And I'm still spun around there as to how the hell he pulled that off. And this is what I thought Trump was going to take and overturn. I voted for Trump for the right reasons, for what I thought was considered the right reasons. Number one, he didn't ask for any pork. He didn't ask for any handouts. He funded the whole campaign. Thought it was a good thing. And I believe someone coming along like that would actually be able to make some kind of a difference. And I got to tell you, Mr. Trump, I'm getting more and more disappointed in you. More and more disappointed. And I mean, you are starting to sound very unintelligent. You know, and no offense to you, because after all, you did make it as a president of the United States. But I'm thinking more on the lines that of voting somebody else in office instead of you. You're just like any other politician that promises a lot of crap and has very little to deliver upon. At least when Obama told us how fucked we were, at least he was able to follow through with his ordeal. his number one thing. Can anybody remember the number one promise that Obama made? I can. His first promise, and I turned the TV off after that. His promise was anybody making under $250,000 was not going to feel his pinch. Then he ran right out and raised taxes on big corporations. And big corporations, well, they put their big finger up. I mean, they didn't obviously teach that man about trickle down economics, because I felt that pinch. I felt it in my rent. I felt it in my utilities. I felt it when I went to the store to buy cigarettes. My pound of tobacco that went from $17 to $75 overnight under his promise that none of us was going to feel his pinch. Well, fuck, man, you're right. Obama, you're right. I didn't feel your pinch. I felt your bite. You fucking bit hard. So, yeah. And I'm sorry, but that healthcare crap that he passed is unconstitutional. To make something, and it's so asinine. You made it impractical for people to afford any kind of health care without having to go on some kind of welfare crap. And then the stuff that you get to pay for, the freeloaders that don't work or anything, has better benefits, better things, and better medical care than the ones that are paying for it. So thank you again, Mr. Obama. I can't even get help getting my teeth looked at, fixed, or anything like that. Again, thank you, Mr. Obama. But meanwhile, I'm stuck and I have to pay the medical insurance. Or at the end of the year, when they file taxes, well, they get to penalize you for it. Like I said, it's an unconstitutional freaking law. It's ridiculous. You guys got to realize something. The money that they're taking out of your checks is supposed to be a loan. And you're supposed to get some of that back, especially when you meet a certain income requirement. And I know darn well I meet that requirement because of the fact that I'm only at a minimum wage job. Now, I live in one of the harsh states that kind of that tax bracket, I think, is the highest in the nation. I live in California. Kind of pretty messed up if you really think about it. You pay into it and you keep paying into it. Unless, of course, you have a clutch of children or something, and then you might get some kind of better relief or something. But that's kind of pretty messed up too. Yeah, it'll keep you paying. The only thing that you owe Uncle Sam is death and taxes. Well, at least that's how the old saying goes. The only thing you owe in life is death and taxes. But anyways, we need something positive coming out of this stuff. If anything that I would like to see positive come out of this is, I guess I'll wait for this. Can't believe that. Put that kind of thing on a small vehicle like that. The hell. But I'd like to see positive things come out of all this rhetoric crap that's been going on. You know, first of all, the police departments don't need to be treating the people the way they do. And I'm sorry if you guys think that it's only angled at blacks, but it's not. I mean, granted, I realize that our country has went through some trials and errors and some pretty messed up things when we started off as a nation. We did. We our government has done some pretty messed up things. But you know something? Our nation is strong. We have learned from our mistakes. Some people don't want to let it go. And those people do need to let it go. Whatever the hell your parents taught you growing up, man, you need to take it with a grain of salt and learn from the mistakes your parents made and make this nation whole, make it a good nation. We used to, without any doubt, in the past, be able to have the heart to help others. Nowadays, everybody's out for themselves. You know what? I never let that harden my heart. I am still kind to people to this day. I'm good to people. And I can only hope you are too. Don't be afraid to help a person out, when they need it. You know, feed the hungry, clothe them, do this stuff within reason. You know, I don't like the idea of being pushed into doing something that I cannot afford to do. And what hurts the most is when I'm forced to paying into something that's not even benefiting me at all. It benefits someone else. If you give with your heart, not because somebody's forcing you to do it. Because you know what? You're going to end up broke. You're going to end up in their shoes eventually. So, ladies and gentlemen that live here in the United States, be good to one another, no matter what race, what creed, what color, what. If they're an alien that came from doggone planet Pluto, should never freaking matter. Be kind. Mm. Anybody else want to weigh in on this? How the media is trying to say that what Donald Trump did as far as going up to a church and holding a Bible was a awkward thing for him to do. Well, I think it was an awkward thing for a chief to go to a ceremony thing over a gentleman that his department, you know, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying with that whole ordeal because let me tell you, each person has their own way of feeling about things. To me, I think it's a pretty messed up thing, but others might not see it that way. I don't know. The world is kind of conflicted on a lot of stuff. The only reason why to me, I think if I was in charge of people that were trained to be thugs, and I'm not saying every single one of them came out of their academy as thugs, because don't get me wrong on that, because you got a lot of good police officers, that went through the training, saw through the bullshit, and chose not to be that way. Those I commend you and I thank you. You know, from the bottom of my heart, you're true good service to the American people. But there are some they came on out with that rough rhetoric, you know, that rough chip on their shoulders, thinking that they're God and nothing can touch them. And for a number of years, they do get away with their crap. You know, and sooner or later it comes up and bites them in the butt. It just depends on who they mess with. It's not a matter of who they mess with, or a matter of, uh, well, I guess it is a matter of who they mess with. You know, I don't see anybody taken to the streets when they shoot and kill a man running away from a police officer, unarmed, a white man. No one's taken to the streets to riot over that. Good morning, my man. Oh, them puppies look pretty happy. Well, I'll grab a bone for their trip on the way back. See, ladies and gentlemen, this is the kind of thing that I'm talking about. You know, get out and know your neighbors. Know the people that are living around you. Stop being barricaded up and having that damn chip on your shoulders. You know, if you got a bad neighbor, at least get out and know that you have a bad neighbor. You know what I mean? You don't ever have to reassociate with them if they're bad news. But, you know, instead of talking shit about them, without even as much as greeting them and trying to get to know them, get out there and get to know them. You'll find out that you have some awesome neighbors. I mean, granted, not every person is gonna be to your liking, but you gotta try, man. You gotta try. Get out of that motion of sticking to yourself. That's ridiculous. I got two dogs to give bones to. It's just another way of greeting people. Another way of getting to know who you're living next to. And these people that live next to me, they're really awesome people. Guy owns a shop just right next to my apartment complex. Big black guy. Awesome guy. Military vet, everything. Really awesome. And we're really good friends. I got Chinese friends. Even though I'm not for the whole ordeal of the gay thing, I even have gay friends. They understand how I am, and they accept me for me, and I accept them for them. They'll be back here in a minute. He just had to take him to go potty. So what do you guys say? I mean, what the hell? It's not going to hurt anything. You know, even during these trying times over the COVID-19 and all that, by all means, keep your social distancing when it comes to that. Oh, here they are. Look at these cute pups.
Relax. Wait, sit. Both of you sit. Now wait. Stop. Relax.
Look at them cute dogs. Look at that.
Hey.
Yeah. Okay. Stay. Stay. Good
Stop.
boy. No.
Bear, no. Stop.
No. Stay.
Stop.
There you go. Good boys. Good boys. Yeah, they've come a long way, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully they know if they act bad, they're not going to get one.
Yeah. They know it. Hmm.
No, Grizzly. Grizzly. Hey. Grizzly.
Easy boy.
No.
That's not yours.
Hey.
You
No.
ate yours. Come here, buddy. Oh, I know. He goes, yeah, you got to scratch me to get my mind off reading his bone. Oh. He goes, what? You don't have no more? Oh. I do live streams in the morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's fun.
What do you live stream on?
YouTube.
You guys ready? You say thank you?
All right.
All right. Thank you, Howard.
All righty.
Let's go, boy. I gotta go shower. Get ready to go.
He started scratching.
Come on, here, let's go.
I hit the magic button. All right. See? Easy peasy Japanesey. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And hey, for all those around the world that stood up, that's a hell of a good honor that you would be thinking of the U.S. this way. Awesome. In a peaceful way. Thank you. Yeah, because it's supposedly reported in the media to where all these other countries they've taken to the streets in a peaceful manner over what's occurred over here in the United States. And we thank you. Let's see. Anybody else want to weigh in on any of this? Oh, White Claw. Hey, White Claw, brother, what's up? Oh, thank you, White. Well, I'm maybe not the full thing. Yeah, and you might be right about that. No. Well, I'm not racist. If that's what you're getting from it, well, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Because that's definitely not the message I'm sending out. The message I'm trying to get out is, why are we fixated on one race when they do it to all of us? They should stop doing the crap to all. We need to be as a whole, as a, you know, look, this country doesn't have a good track record when it comes to this kind of thing. It started off real bad. But let me ask you something. Why do I got to pay for my ancestors' fuck ups? Our country already done did learn its lesson. Why does there have to be hate in the world? There should be love amongst people. But every time something like this happens, it's not drawn into the fact of the matter of them treating others bad. It's got to be one race. When it's not one race that they're treating badly, that's what I'm trying to say. Why? Okay, you can't say. Let me read your comment first before. You can't say all lives matter. It has zero passion, and you need to educate yourself on meaning behind. Okay, fair enough. I'll tell you what, I'll do that. Because look, you know, okay, maybe I'm outspoken a little bit on it, right? Is that what you're saying? Because I got to tell you, you got to see in my heart, I'm meaning to do good with this, not bad. But I'll take your advice. So where do I start? Have any idea? This isn't okay. Once you actually educate yourself on the meaning, you may understand. Okay. Okay. You see, White Claw, that's what gives our nation this is what gives it power. The idea of having the freedom of expressing yourself. And you might be right, and I might be getting the whole thing wrong and just not seeing it. Hey, walking tall, what's up, brother? For example, firefighter do not spray down every house. And now I've heard of something like that before. Because one is on fire, it doesn't make your house any less important. Right. You're right. You're absolutely right. They be putting your fire out, and the next thing you know, they hear, oh, the mayor's house is on fire. So they stop putting your fire out and go and save the mayor's house because they feel he's more important than you. Or your next door neighbor being a police officer. Oh, he's more important than you when they're in the middle of dealing with you. I've heard of stuff like that. I've heard of you being like in an emergency room, a gunshot. You go into an emergency room with a gunshot wound, and everything's busy, and then all of a sudden a cop comes in with a gunshot wound, and they stop everything to attend to the cop because they think the cop is more important than you when they've already been working on you. Yeah, I can get behind that. That is not cool. I mean, granted, they are of a service. You know, they serve the public. I get it. But then again, I don't know. The way that they think sometimes is pretty raw. So, okay. All right. I'll educate myself a little more on that. Okay. I'll do that. So, where do I start? Because I'm sure there's going to be several books on it and there's going to be several interpretations of it. And I'd want to make sure that I got the right one. Because there's going to be conflicting stories all about this. And I want to make sure that I get it right. See, to me, if I was in that situation, if I was there on that street and I saw that police officer doing that, you can count on one thing, me standing up and doing something. If I would have gotten shot and killed because I stood up for an American, because that's what I consider that man, an American. Read, write frequently by, okay. I'll have to, let me, hold on, let me grab a pen. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Let me tilt this to where I can read it a little better. Read white frequently. Read white. Robin. Robin. L-O. Okay, I'll get that book. I'll get that book and I'll read it. I mean, you can see where I'm going with this, though, don't you? That's why you need to educate yourself because nobody said all lives don't matter. You're getting on a topic you clearly don't fully, and you might be really right about that. Even my buddy Tommy over here, he says, "Well, Howard, you're a good man and you got a great heart, and you're just not seeing it fully." Oh, what the hell? I don't want to do that. He goes, you got the right idea, but you just gotta. Mm, and he's telling me the same thing. He thinks that maybe I need to look into more of it. So anything that I don't get here from you, I'm sure that I can probably get him to kind of fill me in on some of it as far as where to go and stuff. Because he's a really nice guy. I mean, awesome. One day, some kind of spat happened out here in the parking lot, and I flew over that day. I flew over that wall right there. I'm 51 years old, and I flew over that damn wall to catch that man's back, and all I heard is his voice. Just knew that there was a problem, and he dealt with it in a very calm, very good manner, even though the people that he was addressing was really upset. All I stood by, I mean, he looked at me when I hopped over that wall. He says, "Howard, just," and I says, "Dude, don't worry. I ain't saying a word. Just you handle your business. I'm just here to make sure nothing happens." And sure shit, he got both the gentlemen to walk away, and that was good. And he says, "Man, I thought you were gonna go off." I says, "No, sir." I says, "I know when something like that occurs, the more voices that are there, the more aggravation you can bring to the table. So, no, you handled everything just good, you know, just fine. You didn't need my input." So it's not that I'm an uneducated or an unsmart person. I just think that some things in life I probably just don't understand, and that I maybe need that form of understanding. You know what I mean? A lot of people, they can rate a person's intelligence, but they may rate it incorrectly, because whenever you can stand back and say you know it all, then that's the most dumbest person you're ever going to meet. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody at any age can always learn. Besides that, I got to be honest with you, brother. I mean, it's not that, see, I'm not a dumb individual. I grew up learning life's lessons, and I didn't get much from the educational system. Most everything that I've learned in life, I've had to be self taught. Why? Because, see, back in the day, they didn't know how to deal with someone who had an eyesight problem. Instead of putting me up at the front of the class to where I can read the chalkboard and go along with everything, instead, I was shuffled into the back. So, see, my education, I didn't take it seriously until I was in my high school years. See, once I had a good teacher that stood by and sat there and saw the tragedy that was occurring with me, she actually sat me down and she actually cared. For 2 years, I had this teacher. I learned how to read, I learned how to write, and I learned my arithmetic and everything from this particular teacher that cared. I got I started actually mainstreaming out in regular classes because of her. and I took everything seriously. Hell, I didn't even know how to. I didn't know how to orchestrate the months of the year until I was in ninth grade. Yeah, ninth grade. I could not sit there and tell you January, February, March, April, May, July, August, September, October, November, December. I could not do that. Crying shame, huh? But you know what? When once I grasped the seriousness of the situation, I dug into books and I started learning and processing things. I tell you, if I had not done that, I'd have been worse off. So I can read, I can write, I can do all sorts of shit. I even learned how to build computers. A lot of people, I never ever have knocked anybody for not having the education on how to build or configure a computer or configure software to work with a computer, because I never liked it when people did it to me when I was younger. So therefore, I don't do it to others. I just simply show them what they need to do. That's it. So yeah, I didn't have a very good educational background. There's no college in my background. I tried going through the a police department through high school. I went through a program called the PAC program. And I tell you what, I'm grateful that I did not, because even though my heart was in it for the right reasons, I'm kind of grateful that I didn't become a police officer. Because the state that I lived in, let me tell you, it's a pretty ruthless state. I'm glad I did security work instead. Because I tell you what, uh, I'm a good person. I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't misunderstand my kindness for weakness. Because let me tell you, if I think somebody's getting over on me, I do drop the goblet. I drop that hammer quicker than stink on shit. And in the entire time that I've been in this career, I would honestly say I maybe have put 3 people, maybe possibly 4 people in handcuffs in over 20 years. That should tell you where my problem skills are. I would much rather somebody go somewhere, cool down, or uh, to recorrect whatever the problem is. I'd much rather do that than, you know. In other words, I don't like to call the police unless it's absolutely necessary. Back in the day, they used to sit there and make it to where you had to solve your own problems. Nowadays, you don't have to solve your own problems. Just get on the phone and call the police. They'll fix it, right? That's not that, I'm sorry. If you can't go over to a neighbor's house to tell them, hey, look, your music's too loud, could you please turn it down? Be polite, courteous, and all that, then I don't know. Or to address situations, you know. I think the reason why they do what they do is because I don't know. It's just the way that that people are being taught. They're more irritable. People can become very angry very quickly. And nowadays, it can be over the most stupidest thing. And no, please don't. I'm not talking about any of that. I had a neighbor wanting to fight me because a beer can was in his backyard, and I don't even drink. He thought the beer can came from my house, which he looked pretty stupid once I invited him in to show him, hey, I don't drink alcohol of any kind. The beer can came from somewhere else, bud. And the thing of it is I've known that neighbor for at least a good 6, 7 years prior to all that. So he should have already known that I wasn't a drinker. No, he just wanted to muscle me into going over and picking it up out of his yard. I told him right where to go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And yeah, I got a pretty good education on this whole ordeal. But it's all good. It's all good. So tomorrow we'll tune in, same time, same channel. And hopefully, yeah, I'm going to go look for that book because I am kind of interested in it. Pardon me. Alrighty then. So tune in at around 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, and we will definitely pick this up. So I'll see you guys on the next one.